Welcome to the first American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers Launch and Learn program. This video and those that will follow are the product of the Academy's Technology Committee. Our committee is committed to following Ken Altshuler's vision to educate fellows about technology, particularly social media, and provide free member benefits to enhance every fellow's family law practice. To accomplish our goal, we are providing free, short, interesting videos that contain very useful technology tips. These videos are structured in time, so groups at your law firm, including other partners, associates, and staff, can watch the videos at a mutually convenient time. The culmination of our video series will take place at the Academy's November annual meeting in Chicago. I'll discuss this exciting program at the end of this presentation. To begin the video series, let me introduce myself. I am Melissa Brown. I'm a fellow from Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm proud to chair the Academy's first Technology Committee. The co-producer of our program is Pat Lasher. She's a fellow from Houston, Texas, who now resides in Baltimore, Maryland with Richard Jacobs, her husband and fellow Academy member. Our program today is titled, The Value of Social Media and Family Law Cases. In today's world, embracing technology and understanding social media are necessary skills to every family law practice. Our program then plans to provide you with an overview of the nature of social media, the scope of social media, and social media's impact upon family law. Social media, simply put, is really just people talking to people via technology. When social media first became topical, it seemed it was mainly just confined to friends keeping up with other friends and families staying in touch with relatives. Today, that is no longer the case. However, there are some naysayers, some of the baby boomers, who still seem to think of social media as a picture from their 1970s college yearbook. But social media is really so much more. The three most active social media sites are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. In March of 2012, Facebook had 901 million active monthly users. It is projected that by this coming August there will be 1 billion Facebook users. In March of 2012, Twitter had 5 million users, and in February of 2012, LinkedIn was estimated to have 150 million users. A March 2012 Huffington Post report, however, found that Pinterest, the new Pinboard social media site, had actually surpassed LinkedIn to become the third most active social network site. There are many other social media sites that you are probably familiar with, such as YouTube, MySpace, Flickr, Instagram, and many more. Today we are just focusing upon Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. The program will highlight a few legal opinions that will discuss social media, and as mentioned earlier, we'll talk about the value of social media to your family law practice. We'll mention some ethical rules applicable to social media, and we'll tell you about a few mistakes other lawyers have made to help you avoid falling into that same trap. Sometimes grasping the differences between the various social media sites is difficult to comprehend or remember. To remember the differences, let us help you recall these by visualizing these analogies. Think of Facebook as a place where you would invite close friends to a backyard barbecue at your own home. Imagine that your yard is surrounded by a large fence and all your doors have locks. Only your invited guests are allowed to attend the barbecue. Many of your guests are dressed very casually. Some are in shorts, others may be in bathing suits, swimming in your pool. A few may be drinking a cold beer. Others may be chatting casually about what's going on in their lives. And there may be some who are taking pictures and agreeing to share them with others after the event is over. The Academy actually has its own Facebook page. Unlike a personal Facebook page, however, this is a professional Facebook page. You can view our page whether or not you're on Facebook, have a Facebook account or not. If you have a Facebook account, though, we hope that you will check out our page and actually like it. If you look in the middle of the page to the far right, about 2 o'clock, imagine if this were a clock, and see that so far we have 158 likes. I hope after this program many more of you will have joined and liked our page, and our numbers will vastly increase. Unlike Facebook, though, where you can set up security features like the big fence and locked doors, Twitter is much more analogous to standing in Times Square where anyone can see you, but only your close friends are interested in what you are saying or doing. Twitter posts are known as tweets. They are limited to 140 characters, which means each letter, number, and space is counted as a character. These tweets are visible to anyone unless you send a specific private message through Twitter to someone who's following you. Tweets can include short messages, links to articles, photos, videos, and even retweeting others' messages. While the commercial use for family law attorneys is not quite yet established, Twitter really is a rising source of finding out about opposing parties' behavior that we can use in our family law cases. Twitter is also a useful source to gather and share information with others. The Academy also has our own Twitter account. Our Twitter name is AAML Fellow. You can look it up on the internet at the website listed at the top of your screen, twitter.com/AAML Fellow. If you are on Twitter already, please follow us. Send the AAML Fellow Twitter site a private message or even a public message saying, I'm a fellow in the American Academy, please follow me. I manage this site and I will gladly follow anyone who's an Academy member. The third site that we're going to talk about is LinkedIn. Unlike Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn is known much more as a business-oriented site. Some have called it the sort of online directory where professionals connect with one another. Not just lawyers, but all kinds of professionals, CPAs, forensic computer experts, psychologists, psychiatrists, and other professionals who can not only refer information to one another, but also find out information about each other that can be useful to share not only with our clients, but amongst ourselves. When thinking of LinkedIn, think of it as a more formal site. It is almost as if you're at an ABA meeting where every ABA section is represented. There, lawyers are much more formally dressed, speaking to one another in more of a networking environment, and sharing only more appropriate business-type comments versus the casual comments one would share at a backyard barbecue. The Academy has its own group on LinkedIn. This group was started by John Harding, who continues to monitor it. The Academy's group on LinkedIn is incredibly valuable. The value of this group is that, one, it is completely private. Only those who are fellows in the American Academy are allowed to join. And within the group, if you post a question or respond to a question, only those members of our group can see the information. This is a wonderful site that we hope more fellows will begin using, especially as we learn and share more about technology and social media with each other. Now, last spring, Ken Altshuler, our president, mailed out 3 articles regarding Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. These articles were basic information about how to set up your own Facebook page, your own Twitter site, and your own LinkedIn account. If you happen to miss any of these articles, you can find them at the addresses located here on this screen, 2 of which are on the Academy's website. Please refer back to these articles as they take you holding your hand step by step to set up each of these types of accounts so that you can keep up with the rest of the fellows who are quickly advancing in the technology world. Some of you may or may not know, but even dating back to 2005, courts consider the use of technology as part of a lawyer's requirement to exercise due diligence in locating information. In the case of Munster v. Gross, an Indiana judge was incredulous that a plaintiff had failed to Google the missing defendant and serve that defendant by publication instead of having him served personally. The judge actually Googled the defendant from the bench. And Googling the defendant, the judge found the defendant's relatives online after reading about the defendant's mother's obituary. As a result, the trial judge held that the defendant's service by publication was not appropriate, and the Court of Appeals upheld the trial court's decision that stated service of process by publication was insufficient where the defendant could have easily been found on the internet. Therefore, it's not difficult for us to see that if we are in a situation where we must serve a defendant by publication, we should show proof that we exercise all due diligence in looking for that lost defendant by Googling the defendant on the internet and using other legal search engines to attempt to find and locate that party. In fact, state and federal court opinions are now holding attorneys accountable in cases, and there were even 688 reported federal and state court cases in 2010 and 2011 that specifically involved social media. Of those reported cases, the top 5 subject areas included family law. If you would like to look at any of these cases, you can look at all of them at this detailed site located at the top of this screen that's hosted by x1discovery.com. x1discovery.com is also a very useful company to help you locate information about opposing parties, your own client, and other information you may need about witnesses in your cases.